Fighting anime. Yes. A good fighting anime can get me pretty hyped and excited. Just look at shows like One Piece, My Hero, and Demon Slayer, where the action is beautifully illustrated and choreographed in the anime, and manga as well. Except for Demon Slayer. But that's besides the point. One of my favorite aspects for these shows are the fighting scenes, where you get to see the characters fight. I mean, just plain old good old fighting. That's good shit. And I'm sure you like it too, right? Well, if you like that shit, then I think Shuumatsu no Valkyrie just might be the series for you, and might be entertaining as well. So, Shuumatsu no Valkyrie is a series that revolves around a tournament arc. Yes, just one big tournament arc, don't question it, where humanity fights against gods so that humanity doesn't go extinct. It's gonna be a series of 1v1 matches that number 13 total, where, each side fights a death until one of them obtains at least 7 victories. And one of the appeals is that you get to see a variety of gods from various regions of the world, though mostly only Greek and Nordic. And you get to see a variety of human historical figures, though some of them will make you go, what the you just question why they're even fighting. But the series makes it work somehow. Some of you who haven't read the manga might be questioning how normal humans can even defeat gods. For spoiler reasons, I won't be directly talking about that, but they find a way. Just so that they find a way. Of the series, it's absolutely amazing, as well as the pacing of the story is absolutely perfect in my opinion. The art, I feel, is simply fluid and flows. For an action fighting manga, it flows very smoothly in certain moments, and the quality of the art definitely does not fail in the climatic scenes, where it fucking matters. It definitely hits where it fucking matters, and all the fights are paced at a really good speed. I don't really feel that the fights are stretched too long, or that the characters are doing anything meaningless in the middle of it. And as for the characters of this series, I think they're pretty good. While I do think that there are some side characters that fall short, for the most part, the main characters that are fighting, they're really good, very well developed, and are an absolute joy to read. The author does a really good job in characterizing the fighters and making them feel human despite the limits of the story format that the author uses. The characters are always true to their action and have strong motives that make it easy for the reader to understand and get behind. And another thing that helps with the characterization so well are the themes of the fights. Each fight has its own set of specific themes that embodies a character or something they must overcome. The themes of these fights are made very abundantly clear and simple so that it is easier for the reader to understand. I'll try not to spoil too much, but I'll give you an example. So for the first fight, the theme is being the strongest, or what it means to have no one to oppose you. Well, what do I mean by that? For the first fight, both the representatives for human and gods, or individuals who have never been opposed in their lives because they're simply the strongest. They're mightiest warriors and have never fought anyone with equal or stronger might to them. And it's this kind of mindset where you get to see these two people with similar backgrounds fighting. And I simply find it entertaining and absolutely amazing to watch. I love to see how these characters react to each other, as well as who wins. After all, this is a fighting manga, so who wins a fight does matter a lot. Up till now, I've been praising the series, telling you how amazing it is, and what's good about it. And it's certainly an amazing series, but I think that there should be some criticism as well as some flaws because of the formatting, as I personally believe that no series is perfect, and this shouldn't be an exception. While I do think that the fighters are certainly amazing characters, the side casts, other than a few selected characters, can be certainly underwhelming. This is because the author chooses to spend more time with the fighters, where I have no problem with because the fighters are super good and certainly do impress. But for the casual reader, you might be underwhelmed by the side cast. Another flaw, it's the formatting of the story. And now what do I mean by that? What I mean is that because of how the plot is for the story and how the story is structured, you don't get a sense of longevity. After all, this is just one big tournament arc. You don't really get to stick with the characters. After their fight, one character dies and the other just disappears from the series, or it feels like they disappear. Another flaw that I can think of is that there isn't a main character. Unlike shows in One Piece or My Hero, you don't have someone that you really stick to the end. Now, for people who've read the manga who are watching this video, you might say that Brynhilde, who's a Valkyrie in the show, is the main character of the show, but to that I say, not really, because the narrative is never focused on her. Or for very short segments of the manga, is it really focused on her? So for me to say that she's the main character, I struggle to do that, and I just don't believe she's the main character. Despite the fact that she's very well written, and I think she's an amazing character, she just simply doesn't fit the mold, or what a casual reader might think of as a main character. Overall, Shuumatsu no Valkyrie is an amazing manga series that I would recommend to anyone who enjoys the tournament arc format or just some good old action. I know that I've had some criticisms of the show, but that doesn't mean that I hate the show. No, that doesn't deter me at all. In fact, it makes me love the show even more. It just comes to the simple fact that certain things in a narrative have to be sacrificed to make other aspects of the show more amazing. So please, don't let my criticisms of the show deter you. By all means, I don't think it's a narrative masterpiece like One Piece is, or it has a plot flow like other shonen shows like My Hero or Dr. Stone. But if you just want some good old action, as well as some pretty nice art, I think Shuumatsu no Valkyrie is definitely the right fit for you. Also, to the manga readers out there, I only read the story for the Brynhilde faces!